Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. And if you read the banner image, you know there's some exciting things happening around here. So for several years, I have hosted sketch camps. The one that I host in May, I've lovingly named A-May-zing Sketch Camp. Get it? A-May-zing. And so it's that time of year. And so I started to think about it and I was planning it. And so this year I've decided to make a few changes, which I actually think are like awesome improvements. Because like the groups were hard to find, because I have obviously done it in the past, even though they're like public groups, they're kind of hard to find. You have to know like the exact wording to find the group. There's a bazillion groups out there now. So what I decided to do this year, brand new in 2026, is there is one group that's going to be like the home, basically, for Sketch Camp. So the group is called Chris's Sketch Camp, just to kind of make it easy. It falls in line with everything else, and I've done some improvements within the group. So this year I'm doing my live event during the month of May, at the end of the month. So the 26th through the 29th will be the live content, and I'll stream it into that group. I'm going to do some things the same, some things different, but something exciting I decided to do when I opened the group. Like I said, it was kind of, it got complicated to try and find things. So I've taken that group and I have added some of the content from years past. It could be a little bit of a process to get some things in there, but if you've not attended one of my sketch camps, I'm going to talk about it today. I'm going to add my desk in here. I'm going to show you sketch camp from last year, which the PDF is in the file section already already in the group. Anybody can join the group. Just click. I think I've pinned it to the comments here, so the link should sit live there at the top. If not, comment camp and I will send you the link to join the group, because I know it's going to be a little bit confusing there in the beginning, and that's why I wanted to start to talk about it now before the event. So we're about 2 weeks, just 2 weeks less a day out from the event. So I am in full on planning mode. but I wanted to kind of get everybody in the group and situated before I start to stream live content in there again. So like I said, if you click on it and you have any problems, just let me know or comment camp, and I will come back and I'll send you the link to the group if for some reason it's not working. Okay, so I'm going to add my desk in here. We're going to talk about some of the things I've done in the past. I've switched things up a couple of times, but I'm hoping you're all going to enjoy what's going to happen this year. So let me add my desk in here, and like I said, we'll take a look at last year's count. Okay, so like I said, I've pulled out a couple of sets of count, and we will look at them. So this was A-May-zing Sketch Camp 2025. And so the way it worked was there was like a master sketch, and then I created it 3 times. So with different collections, I taught different things along the way. I really like doing sketch camp. It is one of my favorite things to do all year long. There was a little on the printed documents. There's a little QR code if you want to actually find the video. I do believe last year should be linked to YouTube videos. The previous years, that is a little convoluted, right? Because of all the changes that Facebook made to streaming, etc. But for sure, with the sketch and the supply list, if you wanted, you could create past years. So last year, like I said, was fun. I did 3 different versions of the same sketch. Okay, so let's take a look at the layouts. And I probably should, if you guys have questions along the way, please feel free to ask. As I am here live right now, I'm happy to answer them. And if not, I do come back and check for the comments and questions and try and answer them the best I can. Okay, so like I said, this was last year's, and we played with like the large party alpha, which is still available. I did some stamping on this layout. We did some die cuts, all of those fun things, added a pretty shadow to this layout. So that was layout number 1. And then layout number 2 was Sweet Sips and Simple Joys. So there was an SVG for this, but you can see the layout is based on the same sketch. And I took some of the elements from the original sketch, right? So this one, you can see the stamping, but like here, I changed it out with SVG. I switched out the decorations on this layout. So this is the same collection. This year, you'll see I'm doing something different too along the way. I always try and do, so that they're not all exactly the same, switch some things up. And then I went very rogue, and we did some fun things to get the sand on the edge of the layout here instead of the stamping, right? Some fun linen twine to pull in like the roughness, so to speak, of the collection. So this was layout number 3. And like I said, I taught them all live. So you can see here beforehand, right? I prepped my layouts, and then I did assemble and teach the full second set. I tell you about my photographs. This is my little Obi-Wan who loved the beach and could swim for hours and hours. And so I really liked the sound effect that was around the edge of this layout. Okay, but don't worry, I have more examples to show you. Okay, so I've got a big old pile behind me, so we'll see how much we can take a look at. But like I said, so this is from 2025. Then let's pull out here. So, oh, okay. We'll look at 2021 because for the next one I have to pull over a whole album. So this one, there's the sketch, and then I created it 3 times with 3 different collections. Okay, so these I'm going to actually, I'll pull one set out so you can see. These layouts. So like I said, this is 2021. And we did some shaker elements on this layout, right? So they're just, I try and work in a few techniques that you could use in the future on other layouts, etc. I'm just pulling them out of page protectors. So I'm trying to find a spot to put the page protectors because the glare is going to be too much, I think, for the camera. The other one, I might have to leave them because there's so much. Okay, so then, and I don't know, to be super honest with you, which order I taught these layouts, but this one is, so same layout, same original sketch, right? But we use different techniques and it looks completely different, right? So this is the, I'll just put, like, I'll do a side by side, but you could see it's the same sketch, but like a completely different look. And that's one of my favorite things about this event is that I try and show you how like one sketch can be used over in different ways, adding different techniques, different papers. So I'm going to show you both sets of these layouts because this was like a party theme, right? So this was my like beforehand, right? The one that showed with the sketch. I did tons and tons of techniques on this one. There's the little silver thread to tie down all the balloons. There's a shaker element because I used a shaker element on the other layout, right? But this looks nothing like this, which looks then in turn nothing like the first one, right? So you're kind of getting the idea now. So then when I taught live, I added, okay. I was going to try and stay very organized, but apparently that's not going to happen. Then this was the layout that I taught live, right? So a different color combination, but with the same sweets, right? But like I said, none of the 3 layouts look the same, right? So there's this one and then this one. And these are actually both birthdays because this was my mom's birthday and this was my daughter's birthday. That wasn't my son's birthday. That was fishing. So they look completely different. And like I said, I have uploaded all the stuff into the new group. If you have any problems finding it, just comment camp and I'll come back. Okay, so this last one, I'm going to clear this off my desk. And then the last, because I'm going to try and keep myself semi-organized here. So that's this camp. And that's this camp. And I'm going to pull an album in. And it's going to be under page protectors. But I don't want everything completely out of order. But so this was in 2023. And let's just see if I'm going to be able to get this on. Okay, it might not work. I might have to pull them in one by one. Okay, so this was 2023, and this was, again, Sketch Camp. This is the little booklet, right? So there was a downloadable booklet. Here is the layout. Okay, so this was like my original, and then I taught it look at him. I taught it with photographs. I added a flip flap, right? So yeah, that's all. I'm trying to see if there were more flip flaps, right? So that was the first one. And then here's the second one, right? Completely different feel to it than the first one, right? A more masculine feel to it. And then here it is with photographs. There's no flip flops here, but we did some, I think this is stickles. Fun, a little bit different. Oh, I really like that layout actually. And then look, I did it completely different with a different paper pack, same layout, and it has a totally different feeling. Here's this one, like the more romantic feeling, a title, some flowers, right? I did stenciling in the background. And then here it is with photographs on it. And then here's the redo of this one. So like I said, it's lots of fun. You learn all sorts of techniques. Let me just slide this into this pile. And then I have one more pile I'll bring out. So this last one was a holiday sketch camp. And like I said, so I've done them at different times of year and called them different things, which also makes it hard then to find the group, which is exactly why I wanted to put everything into one group and kick it off this May. As May is like almost always when they were, but like this is a holiday one, right? So it was holiday themed. So holiday magic. And then Wonderland, I did some masking, some stickles, a pull tab for journaling, some stamping on the layout. This is like glitter paper, which then tied into the title on this side. Then Wonderland. It was fun behind the houses to give the houses that look, like that Christmas look, you know, when like your windows all fog up. And again, it has like the hidden journaling. And then back to the first one. Okay, guys, so that's what I've got for you today, right? So like I said, all these are for sure the PDFs are loaded into the group already. So if you were in one of the past groups too, I'm going to go back and I'm going to invite you to the new group. And I hope you guys enjoy this change. I hope you'll consider joining me for this month's A-May-zing Sketch Camp. So for 2026, we are having an A-May-zing Sketch Camp, May 26th to 29th. And like I said, there will be a sketch, and then I'm going to teach all of the layouts live. So that's what I've got for you guys today. And as I said, if you have any questions when you're watching the live or the replay, just add them into the comments and I'll come back. If you can't find the link to join the group, just comment camp and it will message you the link to the group. I hope you guys all have an awesome day and we'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.